Our hero's journey begins when he leaves prison after being there for 10 years. And, he thinks the world is still the same, but little does he know that his family has now changed and he has to go and look for his younger brother and rekindle their relationship. Little does he know that his younger brother has gotten in some shady business in the city, and our protagonist, Saint, has to basically pull him back from any kind of disaster that he decides he's going to go get himself into. So that's where our story begins, and then we have Aya and Pocky the cat, and they are also along for the journey. So please sit back and enjoy the ride. Hey guys, let me know if you could hear me okay. Whoa, echo. I should probably take my earphones off. Man, I am so scatterbrained today. No surprise there. Okay, let me do some quick housekeeping things before I forget, and then we could actually make this thing happen. I took like 2 bites of my ramen, and I'm so behind right now. It's gonna get worse as this Kickstarter keeps moving along. Pin message. So I just pinned up the Kickstarter pre-launch page so that you guys have it up there at the top. And okay, let me go ahead and close this browser out. Okay. Alrighty. How have you guys been? I would eat my ramen in front of you, but then, that's not why you guys are here. So let's see. Sounds good. Hello, Detective Buckets. Hello, Dave. Trevor again. Doodly Don. Joshua. JD. Felipe. And did I miss anybody? Arthur and Richard. Hello. I'm gonna scroll up a little bit. I think I got everybody. But oh, thank you so much. I know you guys are like happy for me, and I really appreciate that. But I'm one of those people who I had tons of friends who did Kickstarters, and remember I started my little podcast with my buddies and like Francis and Eric Kennedy, and I started picking their brain about Kickstarter, and now it's my turn. I'm like, man, and yeah, so now I'm like nervous. Like, it's not what I expected. I knew I was gonna be somewhat nervous, but boy, oh boy. And the more that I'm doing this, the less time I have to do all sorts of stuff, like even getting ready for this live stream and everything. Like, everything was super last minute. And never in the history of ever have I ever had like a 12-ounce pumpkin spice latte and I only took 2 sips of it. I am so disappointed in myself. So this was like cold pumpkin spice latte. I'm tempted to go walk over to the microwave and heat it up, but I know I probably shouldn't do that. So I don't want to spill anything on my cover / splash page here. We got Pocky, as always. Let me turn this down so you guys can see it better. So, anywho. All right, so where do I start? Well, I'll probably start by warming up a little bit, but then I'll talk, and let's see if I can get good at that. Thank you guys. I'm still working on another trailer because I'm so obsessed with like movement and stuff. So I'm gonna color and add some more stuff and make it like super duper awesome, hopefully, and make myself feel like a legitimate filmmaker. So let's see. So hopefully you guys got some good sleep this week. I definitely have had sleepless nights, but no surprise there. Nothing a little bit of makeup and curling your hair doesn't fix, right? Hello, Comics for Life. Thank you for joining us. Man, this is awesome, you guys. It's finally sunny out after 2 or 3 days of hail. Or not hail, it's like rain mixed with snow. And there's some snow in the mountains now, so it's kind of cool. Hopefully after the live stream, I'm going to go hiking up the hill in town and hopefully get some photos of the beautiful mountains outside. So that would be really cool. What is going on with my think I need am I not centered? There we go. Okay. Thank you so much, Cleaver. Phil Da Vinci, do I color with markers? Sometimes I do, actually. I don't know if I have anything here that's got marker on it, maybe. I just sent out all the oh, sorry. I'm getting like, you know how you have someone in your ear telling you what to do and stuff? I get text messages, and so what was I saying? Oh yeah, I do color with markers. Lately I've been coloring with a lot of like what is it, fountain ink and stuff. You know what, I do have a cover. I'm going to show it to you guys because it's a bit of India ink and marker, so it's pretty cool. And then let's see, things right here. Okay, let me make sure I don't spoil anything by showing something that's not supposed to be shown. Oh, it's not in here. But I guess while you guys wait, here's Ninja Turtles. Okay, found it. Okay, so here we go. Oh, thanks so much, JD. So this is the cover for the Aspen, the Echoes Kickstarter for Aspen, and they just previewed this cover this week, so I figured I could show it to you guys. Kind of blurry. Right there. So basically, Grell is mostly markers and the characters basically, and the background was all India ink. So I like India ink, color India ink, because it dries kind of like almost the same consistency as Copic markers. So it looks pretty consistent, but it also gives it kind of like a watercolor feel, just a little bit, so it separates the foreground from the background. And I like it that way, because then, you know, if you tried coloring it with markers in the background, it just looks, it's a lot of marker and it streaks and you don't get to kind of paint. Like if you look at I'm kidding. Text messages again. And so like this right here was, since it was done with ink, and I think I used, is it gouache? Or I think this was no, this is actually right here. The FW ink. So this is like thicker because it's like acrylic ink. And so you could have like this thicker acrylic look to it, and it looks, I think it looks awesome that way. And this right here is the cover for the first what is it, it was for the first Grell, Echoes book. So this was I think a year or two ago, I don't remember. Anyhow, so yeah. Yeah, those inks are awesome, and they actually have this pen that you can, I think you guys have seen this. So, you got, okay, I don't know where it went. So they have like this refillable pen that it's like empty, and you just put like ink in it, and then you shake it up, and it's like Posca markers basically, and so you could just fill it up and make your own colors up. So before I forget, that's what I forgot to do. So the Kickstarter pre-launch page is pinned up at the top of the live chat. You can see it. My name is in yellow. Please stop by the pre-launch page and then hit the notify me or notify on launch. That way, as soon as it launches, you guys see it. And there's some limited items, so those might go pretty quickly. But then that's a good way to like be notified as soon as the launch happens. And I'm also gonna, I think I sent out a newsletter yesterday, so I'm going to send one more email with some of the tiers that, some of the add-on items, and then the covers and the tiers. But for now, I actually printed out a couple small things. So this is basically the cover for the sketchbook, to be determined, but that's kind of what it is. We talked about having this right here and you could barely see it, but so there's going to be sketches. I've gotten so many sketches, and I don't know how many pages it's going to be, but I'll put in as much content as possible because I love sketchbooks, and I always wanted my own sketchbook. So this was like probably the biggest deal to me, was a sketchbook. So there's going to be a sketchbook, and then, you know, I'm so like, for the longest time I was a colorist, and everything I had was full color. So I wanted to get really good at doing black and white art, and so I wanted my own black and white manga-esque looking book. And so there is a black and white edition of the book that'll be also an add-on, and then Pocky has his own special tier, so Pocky's gonna have his own special little sketchbook because I got so much art from him. And this right here is the main characters. Well, their character sheet, which I didn't put up yet, but this is basically the designed trading cards that we have so far. So there might be 6 of them, and I'm all about like the, you know how the upper deck cards have like the foil on it and the silver embossed. That's kind of what I'm going for. I'm trying to go like really bougie with some of the main things. I'm keeping my items right now, at least on launch, like really simple, so that, you know, I can focus on the quality of some of these items, and then and then we'll see where we go from there. But you know, I have so many things planned if it goes off the rails, you know, which is what we want, like off a roller coaster rail or hoverboard. So yes. Anyhow, back to drawing. I was drawing Pocky earlier, so I think I'm gonna keep drawing him. So everybody's looking really cool, and they're looking back at Saint in this scene, and they're on their hoverboards, and this is Shin. And instead of Pocky looking up at Saint, he's looking up at his nuggets that he really wants, but he can't have them because they gotta jump off this building. So he doesn't get his nuggets again, you guys. So, you know, they're running from the law, so including Pocky Stick, or Pocky Kitty Cat. So he's also an outlaw in this scene. So simple little shapes for his little head, and then I can move on to what I was doing earlier, which I just forgot was working on Saint. And the tentative launch date is the 28th, which is in 10 days. I didn't want it to be this short notice, but I didn't have a whole lot of options this year, so I had to do it. Had to do it sooner than later. So I know, it's funny. It's like I went over 20 years doing this thing, and then not actually doing anything with it, or not even having a way of getting it out there, and to like all of a sudden I'm going like 100 miles an hour right now. So, but sometimes you kind of have to jump on the, you know, deep end of the pool. So I can't swim, so I don't know if that's a good analogy. I can't really swim. I could probably kick in the water, but I sink. So I guess that means I can't swim. So let me sharpen this pencil, you guys. Ooh, they have vampire nuggets at Burger King? What color what color is it? Did they put food dye on it? Does it look cool? Or is it just regular nuggets with teeth? Where is it? All cats are outlaws, Dave. Yeah, you're right, actually. That is true. So I have like virtual cats in my comic book where they're basically holograms, and they're not actually real, but they're like people's cats that passed away, and then they have like, you know, their likeness put into you could say a machine, not a machine, but like, yeah, I could say it's a machine. And some people lose their little, let's just call it like a phone almost, an ID, and then these cats are just floating around in town, and so they're bodiless holograms. And so you see the cat with the wings in the comic book. He is a hologram of Pocky's friend, who's no longer with him. And so they kind of like, they're always together. So that's the backstory for the hologram cat. And dogs, cats and dogs, pets, you know, so there'll be holographic pets kind of floating around. And I had a good conversation with my younger brother last night, because he and I were the ones that like came up with this concept years ago. And we're like, hey, you know, it'd be really funny, well, if these hoverboards, these are like rebellious, you know, people who are more rebellious, and they would mod their boards, and, you know, they don't have a whole lot of money, so you'll see these basically kids on boards and stuff. And so I came up with a name for them. We're gonna call them sky surfers. So anybody on a hoverboard essentially is a sky surfer. So then I could like do all these really cool tricks with them on boards. And, you know, and I think I came up with this idea, like, what if someone was at a sky bar and then they got drunk and then they wanted to jump onto their hoverboard, and then they, you know, they puke, and then there's people that are driving their cars around, or they're on the roads, and then someone's puke basically lands on someone from like 300 feet up in the air. So I just thought it would be funny. So I think I'm going to keep that in the comic book. Oh, thank you, Pens with Benefits. That's a cool name. Oh, the nuggets are shaped like fangs. Oh, interesting. I'm going to have to Google that. Pocket lives in an unfair world, clearly. So I spent like all weekend long, even though I was supposed to get the page ready to go over the weekend, just doing all sorts of like art and stuff. And so most of the artwork has been done for the Kickstarter, and I just have to finish my little video. Tip my hoverboard. Yeah, why not, you guys? Why not? And that's what I'm thinking. It's going to be like stickers. Someone's going to take like an old car engine, or, you know, something, and just turn it into a really cool looking hoverboard. That way they all kind of stand out and it's more interesting. Because if you're going to have a hoverboard in a book, you might as well just go all out. I was going to use a different terminology, but I don't think it'd be appropriate to use it. I was going to say something to the wall, so... Okay. When is the target to finish the book? Well, my target would be like ideally in March, and then get all the products ordered before that time. So that's my idea. But if we could get 1 or 2 extra people to help out with the project, it would be sooner, because I need a little bit of help on the some of the lettering and the design of the book and stuff like that. Just things that I normally don't think you have to worry about, then all of a sudden it comes up, and then people to help me with like, what is it? The business side of it, I guess, because the people that are helping me now, when I'm working with, they have other projects that they're a part of, so it's kind of hard to get them to, at the moment at least, to do this full time, so. But the thing is, I keep adding pages, and I think I have like 20 pages mostly drawn right now. So, and the book is going to be between 40 to 44 pages. So I'm halfway there. And since I'm not doing like crazy layouts at this point, or having to worry about the script, it's going by a lot faster. And so all I do is basically take all my finished pages, look at what I have, create the word balloons on the layouts, or on Photoshop or something, and then have the letterist or whatever like go through and try to get the dialogue in there. So I have to go in there and actually add the lettering, or the word balloons, or the dialogue, sorry, to the script, and so then they just copy and paste it. So And I don't know if I mentioned we're gonna have metal covers, and I actually designed the metal covers differently than the main cover so that there's a good reason to have a metal cover. I feel like it needs to look kind of cool if it's going to be in metal. So there's going to be 3 of those, and we're going to have a sticker pack, have 1 keychain already designed. I didn't print that out, but you guys saw it last week. And the coloring isn't taking too long. Obviously, I've been throwing out all these neon colors. You did be in drawing the stage to leave room for word balloons. JD, I used to not be careful enough, and I'd always get notes like, hey, Sia, you need to leave more room on all these panels. And so, and even with when I was doing Lady Mechanica, I still needed to leave more room because it's dialogue heavy. And so I kind of ran into problems, which was nice because Marcia and Joe would know how to like take basically I give them my rough pencils and they'd move things around a little bit. But nowadays I'm actually way better at leaving room for balloons, and it's super important. I know you've seen some of my other pages where you could see the word balloons kind of like scribbled on it, like maybe I'd add it right here, ideally, so that I know, okay, it's gonna go here. Is anybody else gonna say anything? Is Pocky gonna start talking now? Or something like that. And there's Shin. Get rid of this. Did I miss it? So when I color with ink, do I need a hair dryer for drying time? Actually, Richard, I don't need it with inks because the bristle that I use absorbs the ink really fast. So by the time I'm done coloring, or I know not to go back over something, I haven't really had any smearing happen. But I guess if I needed to, I would do that. But every time I ink, I would go in different layers and stages. So I've never run my hand over an area for the most part. Hoverboard game and played the hell out of it. Oh, really? I didn't know about that. I'm gonna have to go on YouTube and see if they have any footage or pictures of it. I figured someone would do something like that. And hoverboard is not copywritten, right? Like the concept, it shouldn't be copywritten because it doesn't exist. So maybe I have to change the name of hoverboard and call it something more specific, like a couple companies or whatever. So they're just flying boards, I guess. That sounds ridiculous. I'll come up with a cool name maybe. So after this page, I think flight board. Hey, that sounds cool. Flight board. I want something like, yeah, flight board sounds cool. Diddy boarding. What was that? Well, if it ain't one time, it's even better. Just means you're working on to make it better. That's a good way to put it. It's late because I'm working hard. I was actually filming a podcast episode with a podcast that's gonna air next week on Spotify. So I will let you guys know where and when to watch it when it's available. I had a lot of fun talking to him because he basically used to own his own comic shop, and he was a huge Michael Turner fan, and well, he's fans of everybody really. And he did a few, interviews with my buddies, and he asked a lot of really good questions, which I've never really been able to talk about some of those things, and never thought about those things. So it's kind of cool to discuss like full-on comics and comic book art with somebody. So. I just realized how far my microphone was. Sorry, guys. Well, wait. I need room for my paper. Air blades, not strictly hoverboard. So I'd say it should be good. Give me a second. What is it? I'm learning to draw, but I don't know how to do it. I'm able to do with art yet. I just think it's fun. I started late. Maybe I'll make a comic, but I don't know if I should. Oh yeah, have fun. Now, yeah, if you're starting, take all the stress off of yourself, because that's how you improve at first, in my opinion. And I know that there's a lot of advice about like being practicing certain things specifically, and not and if you want to improve on certain things, and having like a what am I trying to say here? Specific things you want to learn and break it down. That way, you could learn faster. But for now, I think just have fun with it. Skyboard. Why did I not think skyboard? It's almost too obvious, right? I'm like, it's so obvious. I'm not gonna call it skyboard. Sky surfers, skyboard. Perfect. Love it. Let's go trademark that thing. 0G boards. We should have different brands. John in the John Tomervik in the comments basically said, "Oh, we should have different brands for these, kind of like, real brands, right?" So we'll come up with like a dozen of them or something, and come up with logos for it. That would be fun. It's just all about like wish fulfillment, you guys. Is the owner of the shop in San Diego? Oh, you know what? I don't remember asking him where his shop was at. That's a good question. I'll probably ask him via email where it used to be. But he did tell me that he remembered seeing Lola when it first came out, and my first creator-owned book, and he remembered getting it at his shop, and how it was. He never seen anything like it art-wise, or the way I colored and stuff, in a long time. So I thought that was cool that he was familiar with my work, and so it's really awesome. And that's probably why he knew what to ask me, because he already understood the style that my style evolving. So and then I have another one. So we're filming, or I'm going to be on 3 podcasts next week, I think 3 or 4. I lost track, but they're going to be all people I am familiar with, and have been friends with for a long time. So it's going to be a lot of fun just talking, and it might actually help me really boil down my elevator pitch for this book and my understanding of it. So rides hoverboard. Yeah, Jason, you're right. Green. I forgot about that. He rides a really cool hoverboard. Like, the green is awesome. I wanted to make a manga because then I wouldn't have to learn as much coloring, but I realize the Japanese don't like doing business with those that don't speak their language. I hear. I think you're okay. I think it's more about like a mutual respect thing. Like, if you try, I don't see why they would be against you doing anything if they love your work. Because I know some people who their Japanese isn't great, but they work in Japan, so they make the effort, On his books. I don't have my character sheets. Oh yeah, I do. Here's. So here's the character sheet. I'm gonna make sure. So I think I should probably start, now that we're talking about skyboards, I guess we'll call them skyboards. I should start designing the main characters. I already designed one of their skyboards, but I need to design a few more and some logos and stuff. But here's the thing is, you guys saw the pages, right? There's so many so many so many logos and signs and signage and neon everything that like I don't know if I don't know if I can muscle up another like design for anything at this point. So I'm pretty burnt out. I just like to draw stuff. So oh, thank you so much, Glitter and Duct Tape. That's a cool screen name, and interesting too. Aren't you guys glad I started drawing this earlier already? Imagine if I had to do this from scratch right now. There's no way I would get this far, and I would be scatterbrained again like I always am. Hey Ray, what's up? Hoverflight. I'm gonna go back to this live stream when I actually start having to name all these things, and I'll remember. I'll try to get these names down. And we still have to design that little game room of ours. I have an idea of how I want it to look, so I'm excited to show you guys. I don't remember what page it's gonna be, but it's gonna be towards the middle of the front middle second act. How about that? Second act of the book, you'll see the really cool arcade that we were chatting about a couple of streams ago, and we kind of like came up with this cool concept of a game room slash arcade slash game room slash arcade slash bar slash what else comic book store. I mean, it's kind of like I was like, this is kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, you guys. But then I get to draw it, so it's kind of the same thing. World build. I mean, imagine me having to do all that by myself. I mean, that's quite a tall order if you're world building, literally. I had enough just to go by with all the, the media that's out there, but I think it's kind of nice to have some new things of my own as well. That's backwards. Oh, thank you so much, Sketch Art by Mark. Man, you guys have some really cool names. It's almost as funny as my gamer tag, which I keep changing. You know, I was thinking at some point I was gonna stream me playing video games live, but then you guys get to see how bad I am sometimes, so I was like, no, I don't know if I want to do that. Sometimes I'm on fire, and I'm really good, and I'm just, knocking everybody out, but then other times I really suck. So maybe I'll find a game that I'm really good at, like Tetris or something. Mythical Realm. Yeah, that's a good idea. What was the other name that we came up with, you guys? Wasn't it like Gameplorium or something like that? Gameporium? I don't remember. Gameplorium? Or I'll go back and look at the chat. It's funny, like with this kind of book, because it's there's a lot of like mafia slash yakuza slash all sorts of stuff that I have to design all these characters like it's a video game almost. It's an insane amount of characters. Luckily I had a few already, but I think I want to go back and redesign some of them. So, and here we go. I don't have the wolf. That's just playing. Right, I agree, Cleaver. I get more excited people give to me you stream. Oh, thank you so much. I get more excited that I get to put this thing out. Excited, nervous, all sorts of stuff at the same time. All sorts of mixed emotions because, I was getting to the point where I was kind of depressed because I was like, it's never getting done, is it? I don't know. But I have my friend who's like, you know what? I'm just gonna take your floaties off of you and just throw you into the pool. So I'm being kept accountable to get this thing done. And Vince, which isn't in the chat yet, he was like, all right, clock is ticking. I'm like, dude, don't say that. Don't say that to me. Hairstyle, Trevor. Generally, when we like have characters in mind, we kind of already have an idea of like how we want them to look. Sort of like I always wanted somebody with like white hair that's like a white fox almost, or a wolf. Sorry. And the contrast would be kind of cool in my opinion, just because he wears mostly black, and so his hair would being white and that shape would stand out. And so that's kind of how I came up with her hairstyle. And then his brother would have to be the opposite. So he's got the short, spiky, dark hair. And I kind of like it that way because then it's just easier to draw. And so, you know, it's just the way that you, when you design characters, I know you're supposed to have the top half, you know, like be recognizable if you see them or their shapes and stuff like that. So I might, I don't know if I have time, but I might be able to change the brother a little bit because I don't know if I like his glasses and stuff the way that they look, but maybe I'll just like evolve him into something else, like design wise, the second half of the book or something, so that I don't have to worry about like redrawing anything. So yeah, John is correct. He's like, John, sometimes you're not last place and other times you're not last place, but you are in last place. My head. It's almost like how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Cleaver, you had a birthday a few days ago and you started feeling I was gonna say it right now. Now I'm gonna mess it up. Existential. Yes, I said it. Oh, so Lewis, he does have. I don't know if I have that page with me, but there's a page where he's wearing those glasses, and yeah, he could probably have night goggles. And depending on what kind of missions they go on, I have like little gadgets for them, so it's not like an all all the time thing. Because I know that if you're an assassin, you're probably not going to want to walk around with your assassin clothes all the time. So I have to give them like normal outfits, which I know it's not. I mean, I guess superheroes do that too, right? Oh, thank you so much, Cleaver. And I'm missing over 300 characters in my book universe spanning 3 titles. Joshua, that's a lot of characters. I don't know if I have 300. I have probably 30, and that's pretty 30. But then like maybe 15 main ones for the most part. Like not main, but like sub characters and stuff. And here's the thing: is they are part of a clan and all that, or some of these characters. So yeah, I would have to technically. I wouldn't say design them, but like in Cyberpunk 2077, they all kind of have like this consistency with their look in a way. So that's what I'm hoping to do. Hello, magical posters. Nice to see you again. Thank you so much, Trevor. I am stoked too. I like that word, stoked. I'm psyched. There you go. Surfer term. What do I love most about the project? I love, well, the genre. I think I love cyberpunk aesthetics. It's going to be a lot of fun to design it and everything, and I could always come up with new things that don't technically exist, but so I could have fun building this world. And I'm super attached to these 2 main characters. I've had them for 20 years, and their personalities basically intact for the most part. So hey, Michael White, does that hoverboard double as a ironing board? It could. Actually, you know what? It's, I think, metal. So if you put an iron on it, it might do some weird stuff. But I guess you could. That's a funny question, though. Oh, okay. So, Josh, is it like a fantasy? Are you working on a fantasy? Oh, alien races. Okay, I guess that answers it. That's pretty cool. So it's like Skyrim, and What other ones do they have that are like that? Oh, all the open world games are pretty much that way, huh? Okay, what are we doing here? I think we need just put some buildings in here, you guys. It wouldn't be a Neo Wonderland live stream if I wasn't drawing a ton of buildings and windows and signage. And I'm going to use my trusty was it Home Depot pencil. You can tell I use it a lot because the word Home Depot has been completely wiped off. I need to get me a new one. So, so let's see here. Oh, by the way, I went looking for a Bob Ross costume, you guys, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I like that wig. It looks funny. But I have the shirt already, and I already have my own painting palette, so I don't want to go buy. I was cheap because I didn't want to go pay $30 for a cheap looking Bob Ross costume, because I want to get my own like art palettes and stuff. If I'm going to get a palette from that costume that's tiny, I want to be able to use it in real life for my painting, so I'm going to go buy like a real, painting palette and paint kit and stuff like that. So the only thing I'm actually missing is the beard and the hair. And I'm like, well, I could do my hair up like that, but then I don't know if I want to keep my hair like Bob Ross the whole time. So I guess I might have to get a wig. And the beard is a tricky one because I looked at pictures of him and I'm like, that's an interesting looking beard. I don't know if I want a cheap beard either. So I don't know, you guys. We're going to have to see how this costume pans out during Halloween. So Joshua has a time travel story from Prophecy to Destiny. One is a modern everyday superhero series called Chosen, and the other one is alternate history storyline called Disunion. Interesting. Yeah, I know, like, it's funny because I have a couple stories going on in my head. I have like that fantasy one called Dragon's Glacier, which I did a bunch of pages of, didn't finish it yet. And then I got this one, and so I know a lot of people ask me like, why are you working on this one and not the dragon book? Well, so I think it was a couple years ago, I had a couple publishers contacting me about Neo Wonderland, and then I had one asking me about Dragon's Glacier. So I was like, well, I had to decide which one was gonna move along quicker at that point. And since I've had this property and there's interest in it at the time, that I was gonna develop this one first because I've already had most of the assets for it. And so that's kind of why I decided to go with this story first. Plus, I was just itching to get this thing out. I just wanted to draw all the neon colors and everything. I just wanted a break from my other style, the coloring that I did. So here we are, and I get to draw Pocky. So see, so since they're wanted, what I'm thinking is, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I want to put their faces on some of the billboards where it says wanted. And maybe that's what I'll do right here. So oops, sorry. Oh, thank you so much, Joshua. Interconnecting stories. That's smart. So you're basically building that multiple universes at once and connecting it. I have not done that yet, and I never even think about that, because if I did, my head would explode because it'd be so much to keep track of, like continuity and stuff. Yes, you're right, Cleaver. If all goes well, we'll get both books. Honestly, I think we'll get both books regardless, because it'd be a waste to have all those pages drawn and then not like release it. In fact, you know what? Do you guys want to see some of the Dragon's Glacier pages? I have a few of them. Let's see. Okay. I gotta make sure there's nothing spoilery or inappropriate in here. So let's see. So here's my other book. I labeled it, and this is on smaller paper. This is on 11 by 14. Because it was supposed to be a manga, straight up, no coloring, just maybe colored cover, and that's it. And then, And I was Brett from Eon Boards. He basically helped me design the manga boards, and then he had some. Oh, here it is, right here, actually. So this is the Eon manga board that we designed together, and so he had these for sale for a while, but I think he's out. So that's my dragon. See if I could make this. There you go. Is that? Because most of these, I don't know, half of this is penciled. So let me make it so you guys can see it better. Okay. So there's my dragon. There's my ice palace. So this is, and then here's a couple of people on the dragons. Messenger is basically to send an invitation to the dragon's glacier, basically. And I designed the glacier to look like a dragon that has fallen, which was the main dragon. He died 1,000 years prior, and so. And I had to be careful with my story because I didn't want it to be too much like Game of Thrones, because, you know, when you have dragons, all of a sudden it starts to become that thing. And here's pictures of the town. It was like walking through Skyrim. That's kind of what I wanted, like walking through Skyrim. Oh yeah, Robbie, I'm gonna be here for a couple hours, so. And I'll just show you guys some of the sketches so you kind of have an idea of like my approach. And since this was like a smaller, smaller paper, I was able to like get my shapes the way I wanted it to look a lot quicker. So here's the king. And here is, honestly, I forgot her name already since I named her a while ago, and I kept changing it. So this, she's the dragon princess basically. And you see how I wrote the text on here so that I can remember, if I didn't write the script yet, like what's going on and what she's saying tentatively. So she's trying to make this plant come to life, because in the glacier, nothing survives. Plants don't survive within the glacier. So she's trying to use her powers basically to make this thing come to life, and it keeps wilting away. So. Oh yeah, Cleaver. Oh yeah, you remember some of the parts in the video. And I wasn't happy with his face, as always. So you could kind of see the squire and then his teacher and the other warrior knight girl. And so. Oh, thank you, Cleaver. And here's these two. He's still young. And remember that this was the older version, and I had to retrace it because there's something I didn't like about it. So, and then I'm gonna have to I think I redrew this one too, but I was sad that I had to redraw it because I liked the snake, and maybe when I redraw it again for the 5th time, it'll look better. And here's page 3 right here. So the dragon. Female dragon and the main dragon for the book, like the little dragon cub, I guess. And the father is fighting the main dragon with the serpent, and then they crash into the glacier, and then they both die together. They wrap up and they die together in the glacier, and so that's why it's called Dragon's Glacier, because the main dragon, who's huge, he dies and he's frozen what seems like all of eternity. So this is basically she's reading a book right here, and so this is kind of a telling of the story, and it's kind of unfolding like the tale of the dragons, whatever. And right here, the little girl finds out that I don't know if this is a spoiler. No, that the father dies and the baby dragon doesn't have a dad, and so she's crying. She's screaming her head off, and then her mom comes in. So, and she's her brothers are basically the princes. They're practicing, and she comes out with a book and she's crying. And she's showing the main character her brother, and because he's the one that told her to read this story, and she's like horrified that the story is so sad, and so he's trying to console her basically. But I also have a cat in this book too, apparently. I don't know. And the castle, I'm gonna redesign the castle, I think. And here's the one time that I actually got to use real screen tones when I still had them. And I love this page because of the ice, the simplicity of it. So I'm surprised I even remember half the stuff in the story. But yep. So there's that. Yeah, I've had to redraw a few pages, and then I got a little barn owl, and he's choking on his what is it, bell, and so she's holding him upside down and like trying to knock it out of him. So you guys have seen the print I have on my online store. It's based off that character. So oh, good night, magical posters. Thank you for hanging out with us. And here, this is before they're about they're about to be, there's a bunch of, so there's going to be like a banquet, like the typical, fantasy story, and they're getting wasted, and the son doesn't care if he ever becomes like a king, because he has an older brother, and is like, oh, he's going to become the king, I don't care. So he's kind of reckless, doesn't really care about his birthright, and then, so... Man, I'm telling you guys, I have a lot of pages. There's no way I'm not going to like publish this thing. At some point I am going to publish this for sure. Here's part of the banquet. See? And his dad is like, you're embarrassing me. Stop it with the drinking. So, anyways. All right. That was fun going down memory lane. I haven't seen those pages in like almost a year. Oh, thank you guys for listening, because then it gives me an idea of how much drawing I've done already with the story. Thank you so much, you guys. So yeah, it was between fantasy or cyberpunk. So it's a lot like what's the company that does Project CD Red, whatever. They did The Witcher, and then they ended up doing Cyberpunk 2077. I wasn't trying to copy them, but that just so happens that's what happened. So, oh, thank you so much, Cleaver. Yeah, I'm trying to build a few different properties so that for the rest of my life I could just work on my stuff for the most part, and then have my own publishing company and then publish other people's books. I mean, that's the goal at this point. Like, where else am I going to go with my career? I don't really want to do DC or Marvel. I don't have the passion to draw those characters right now, so. I mean, I like drawing pinups of them, but I don't think story-wise I would want to draw them. Even at this point in my life, even with like if someone said, hey, you want to draw Batman and give you a lot of money, I don't think I would be passionate enough to do it. So yeah, so I have to. This has to work, you guys. I can't not do this. So, okay, where are we at here? Oh, okay. Let's do the wanted faces on the billboard. This is obviously a little bit later in the story, so. I love this pencil so much. I get my lines the way I want them to much quicker, because I can't noodle too much because it's so thick. And then maybe I'll put Pocky's wanted poster right next to Aya's. It'd be kind of funny, a wanted cat. Especially because there's holographic cats all over the place. So maybe in the story I make it where Pocky makes a clone of himself, just so that he could evade detection or something. Oh, Morris, that's so cute. What kind of tacos are you eating? Are you street tacos or crunchy Taco Bell tacos? Oh man, I'm hungry. We're gonna have Korean food this evening, I think, so. Oh, thanks, Robbie. Yeah, I've been doing it for a while, and you have your own stories to tell. I would do everything in my power or your power to try to tell those stories, because it's good practice too. So, because if you do want to draw Batman at some point, you could, because you have experience. So, I shouldn't say never, but at this point in my career, I think I'll do my own thing for a bit. I was watching a podcast episode with Robert Kirkman, and it was on Ink Pulp, and some of the stuff he said was really inspiring, and Todd McFarlane. So I'm kind of like, yeah, you know what? At some point, it means a lot more to do that. And we all have different goals. Like, there's other artists who would rather just do Batman and stuff, and it makes perfect sense, because that was their goal for the longest time. And I'm sure at some point they end up moving on to doing other things too. So did my camera just go out one time? Sorry. Oh, that's awesome, Cleaver. Yeah, it's so fulfilling to just be able to create, especially your own stuff, even if it's just for you, your family, or just whatever fan base you have, because it's always going to be rewarding, so. Tacos de asada was, oh, nice, yummy. I'm starving, you guys. My ramen is all soggy now in the little cup, so it's not going to be any good. And by that time, it'll be dinner anyway, so. Kind of tall there. I agree, Michael. It's always better. I mean, to be fair though, I know it's really hard just to do what you want right away, and it takes time to build not only the skill but the networking and the name. So I've just been lucky that I've been able to work for as long as I have on projects that I always wanted. I always wanted to draw on Michael Turner's projects like Fathom or Witchblade, and so I think I've achieved and accomplished those goals already. And that's why it's really cool to see my friend Giuseppe Cafaro working on. He's the Witchblade artist right now, and his stuff is amazing. And he's a huge Michael Turner fan. I mean, he was so huge. I think he tattooed, was it Soulfire on him? He has like a Soulfire tattoo. I mean, he's like legit Michael Turner fan. So the fact that he got to work on Witchblade is like, you couldn't have picked a better guy to work on that book. And he's a great dude. So we had fun times together when we were both at Aspen, and yeah, we'd hang out and stuff. So. Prime rib. You guys are trying to make me hungry, aren't you? I'm so hungry. I might just eat everything at the restaurant today. Some kimchi jjigae, some spicy pork maybe, some mondo. His Witchblade work is awesome. Yeah, I know. He's amazing. So totally deserves it. I'm tempted to text Vince, but I don't want him to like kind of rush into the room. I'm waiting to see if he shows up on his own. Did I miss anything? Can I be eating tacos? So we're gonna start talking about food. You know what? I'm already hungry. You guys start listing off what you're gonna eat for dinner today. Just let me know. Just give it to me, or breakfast, or lunch. Michael, no, I don't live in Holland. I wish. I really do. I want to go back sooner than later. I think when I finish this book, I might do a little European tour or something. I'll get that arranged as soon as I'm comfortable doing with where I'm at with this book. So I was supposed to go this fall. Actually, it was supposed to be October or August to France for a tour for Lady Mechanica, but we never really got around to planning it, and we've been so busy with everything that we decided not to do it this year. So. Man, I actually have brought some. I showed you guys before, like some of my old Fathom, and I don't think I have Witchblade. Yeah, I have one Witchblade. I have the Witchblade #1, and it's in the back. And I brought some of my other art books back. I got Akira back, so I have my bookshelf is pretty much. I need another bookshelf now, which was what I was trying to avoid doing with, buying so many books and having so many books that other people are having to hold on to my books for me since I keep moving. So. Oh yeah, that's right. What was I doing? Pocky. Pocky wanted. I'm actually gonna make these wanted posters and then plaster them all over the internet. So that's gonna be my guerrilla marketing campaign. Wanted posters. Okay, so let's put in some more. Just go crazy with the signs. You know what? Let me get my own photo book that I had here. Here we go. Need a little bit of reference right now. So remember this book from last week? Yeah, my book is gonna be super bright or colorful and dark. Darks. That's what's gonna be awesome about using this as a reference. Look at that, so pretty. Okay, so put this right here. Oh, okay, Louis. So I guess you have a good day, good evening. Thank you for hanging out with us again. I always have a spare room in my house that is affectionately known as the comic book room. Oh, I'm so jealous. 26 long boxes, bookshelves full of trades and statues everywhere. That sounds amazing. I'm so jealous. I was talking to my younger brother yesterday, and I saw in the background he was collecting a bunch of Miku figures, and so he's basically collected almost all of the ones that you could think of, and it's an insanely impressive collection of Mikus. Okay, so John Brown asks, like, I did talk about AI before, but I could always bring it up. Sorry, discuss it again. Sometimes you look at the work and lose interest in picking up a pencil. When you say you lose interest in picking up a pencil, what causes the loss of interest? And then I'll let you know how I feel about it. So. Oh yeah, draw tinsel. Yeah, they said they're gonna publish that, I think, at some point, and then they also have to publish the volume 3 of Lola, as well. So I think their focus right now is on what is it? Echoes, and that takes up a lot of time too. And I've seen the interior pages, you guys. It is so good. Alex is an amazing artist, and you know how Peter Steigerwald colors, so you better bet it's like gorgeous, super detailed. And Alex actually studied under Michael Turner, so he's one of his direct students, I guess, if you want to call him that. We could put our game room right here, you guys, like the sign. Game room. I just put this down for now until I could put the logo on here. Game room. You have statues everywhere. I'm not surprised. If we do Discord, I'd be super happy if you shared just a corner of that room in the picture from just in picture form, just one. Yeah, you know what, you guys, thanks for the reminder. I need to get someone else to set up the Discord for me because I haven't had the chance to, but definitely we talked about the Discord, and I'm just going to start a whole new one. My old one, I forgot the password, and I mean, it's all these tabs and stuff. It was just going to be too much to just kind of redo that one again. So I'm going to start a brand new Discord. I don't know what to call it yet, but we will have our own Discord where you guys could share each other's work and chat about stuff. And I know someone said music, just all sorts of cool stuff, references, good vibes. Okie dokie. So let's see here. So I am going to release another trailer for the Kickstarter sometime this week, early this week, because guess what, you guys, it's actually happening so soon. It's like 10 days. So I'm cramming all of the production stuff into everything. And getting the word out there and adding all the extra content and stuff. And so if you have not already, please check out the landing page link up at the top that I pinned on the chat, and please hit the notify on launch date to be notified on launch date. And I actually am going to have an early bird special for the first 24 hours for people who back the Kickstarter. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do because I have so much content that I'm like, okay, what would be kind of cool and exclusive to the first people who back the Kickstarter on the first 24 hours. I'm thinking, because I discussed this with my art rep, maybe sketch cards or something, because she's got sketch cards. I probably could do something like that. Just something very cool and to thank everybody, I guess, for doing it, for supporting Pocky and this project. We're almost kind of done, you guys, in a way. I'm going to tighten this a little bit more, and then I can actually go in and ink it. So you see how the buildings are in the background? I tend to kind of give myself room to change things around so I don't tighten the background as much. when I ink. So in case something looks funny, then I could just go in there and change it. Like these lines right here, maybe it's going to be distracting. And even the colors I have on the pages right now, that's on the Kickstarter page, the sample pages, I'm probably going to go in and adjust a bunch of stuff, but you know, I needed to get something up in order to get the pre-launch page approved, and so I just put everything together as fast as I could at that point. So we have holographic signs up here. Oh, awesome, Richard. I'm glad I went through, because sometimes it goes right into spam. Oh, okay. You know what? Thank you for reminding me. Oh, where is focus will be work in progress share section. Oh, Dre, whatever you guys want for a session, that would be awesome. What was didn't I ask the question about the AI and it's not letting me scroll for some reason? Okay, here we go. Oh, thanks so much, 10 times Sega. This sounds so cool. That would be awesome. Yeah, I don't want to put in effort and worth. Okay, there you go. So John Brown, thank you. I'm sorry, I just saw your response. If I just don't think putting in the effort is worth it when it's so easy to generate art through text prompts. Aha. Okay. So let me see if I could gather up a really good, robust answer for you. Nice work. Very careful when you do echoes. Oh, thank you so much, Draw Tinsel. Tinsel. Create an Ashcan preview for Neo Wonderland. Oh, hey, Mighty Geek Studios. John mentioned that to me, and I was talking about Ashcans, and I thought they're so cool. So I think I'm definitely going to do an Ashcan. I should probably write that down so I don't forget. So first 24 hours, I guess, or yeah, first 24 we'll do Ashcan. And I will number them first 24 hours. Bam. All right, that's great. So we'll do either sketch cards or that. I'm thinking Ashcan, so. Let's put that down. Okay, so I'm going to go back and answer John Brown's question about AI. Ashcan to build hype for the reference books you've worked on with reference to previous books you've worked on. Oh, cool. Good idea. Good idea. Love it. So John Brown, AI, and then having people easily generate art. Let me ask you guys this then, since there's a bunch of you, and I know that you have a sense about it. Do you prefer looking at AI art knowing that it's AI, or do you still have that desire to look at another person's art, even if it's not perfect and it's not well rendered or anything like that, but it just there's a soul behind it? Do you guys still gravitate towards people that make art, or do you gravitate towards like art that's just being generated when someone types in some prompts? See, there you go, Tifa, perfect. Traditional art 100%. Yep, there you go, you guys. So if you're on the receiving end of it as an artist, I say don't worry about it. Focus on making your art as good as you can, and the story behind your pieces. That's what differentiates, AI art from a human being making art, regardless, like without the prompting, And I've discovered that, and I've talked to a lot of my guy friends about this, like recently, other comic book artists, and they say they're not panicked, they're not worried, because, and a few other creators that I respect say, like, we're not worried, it's a tool. What AI is going to do is wean out anybody who's not genuine, who's not really trying, or doesn't really care about what they do, and they're kind of generic. That's what it does on that level. But if you really care about what you do, it's going to show through, and AI is not going to replace that aspect of it, because art is a very human thing. I forgot who said that recently. I saw it on Instagram. It's a very human thing. Was it George Lucas or someone else? I don't remember. No, it wasn't George Lucas. No, it was maybe, I don't remember. That no matter what, the artist who will be compelled to draw and do art will continue to do it, and it will be compelled to draw no matter what. Agreed. And so you know what, John Brown, I wouldn't worry about it. Soul is what matters when it comes to art. Whether it's a poem, a song that someone's singing, it's the soul behind what we do, and that's why art is a very exclusively human thing. I think I mentioned this before. Like, you could even compare chess. Like, I know that a program could basically beat a master chess player, but are we there to watch? Would you ever watch two chess players that are actually AI and they're not real humans, but it's just two programs going at it? Like, you probably wouldn't watch it, right? Like, or if you're watching a live stream of a gamer and the gamer's not real, it's just a bot basically, or an AI program playing a game, you're not going to go watch the stream because it's not a real human being. So you have to think of the things that you wouldn't do if it wasn't human. Like, you wouldn't care about it as much. So that's kind of how I see it, and I kind of have to see it that way because otherwise it gets pretty dark pretty fast. And since I'm doing this cyberpunk book, there's a lot of subjects I touch on, like AI and how it's being used in the future for my own comic book. Like, if you go to the Kickstarter page right now, you'll see it says AI world, run by an AI constitution, basically. And that's the concept of the story. Is basically they come up with this software that they thought was perfect, and so most of the world is run by AI, or like a digital, like a bunch of, I guess, technocrats that passed away, and they've transplanted this AI with all, I don't know, it's transplanted, programmed this AI where it's basically running everything. And there's only a few pockets in the world where that's not the case. And so this island of mine, which I call Shangri-La, is actually a paradox because, or it's like it's supposed to be paradise, but it's not really paradise. It's kind of dystopian. It's like there's not a whole lot of rules, and things are just kind of, they are what they are. Like the early days of maybe people being shipped there, and it's basically a man-made island that is like a dump site for the rest of the world. They basically dump all the really big things there, and that's where you find all the junky cars and everything. But that was like way early before what it is today in the book, where they've already kind of settled in, and all that junk has become like, built into something else and reused and refurbished. And so like this island is kind of where our characters are from. And so the rest of the world is one way where everything is like kind of cookie cutter. And so there's like a juxtaposition between the rest of the world and then the characters and the environment in the story. And so that's kind of the world I built. And I feel like because I built that world that way, it's easier for me to, like, if I had changed some of the stories, like the specifics of the story of the characters, it would still be kind of like Gotham City, where it's beholden to certain rules of the universe or the world that I created. So it's, I mean, it sounds simple in my head, but now I'm just rambling. I'm just like spilling all of my backstory to you guys. So it would be interesting to see one of Lady Mechanica's tools pop up in the story. Oh yeah, like a Easter egg. They paved paradise and put it in a parking lot. Oh yeah, that's basically it, huh? Based on what I've learned about what behind AI and expressly generated AI, I think it's plain disrespectful. So I don't even want to look at it, no matter how pretty it is. They can keep it. See what I mean? Yep. You can draw stick figures and still put them out at good fees, and what matters storytelling as well. Aw, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I hope this kind of settles that perception of AI, like, for most of us, I guess. Like, we know what we want and what we love, and whoever is using it, you're not going to gravitate towards them. Like, it's a non-issue in a way. I mean, and it's kind of like there's certain types of music or whatever that we'll just never like and care for. So, and there's going to be that as well, with this kind of stuff. So this kind of technology, it's gonna iron itself out, in my opinion, because all these things always eventually at first is just like, it interrupts a lot of things, and then we kind of settle back into, oh yeah, we're still human, we still care about those things, human things, that make us feel alive and special, and life makes life more interesting. So you guys remember those old Flash animations that are called Chow Chow, where it's like a bunch of stick figures like they're fighting and all that, and look at how awesome that is. And that was made by a person, and it's stick figures, and it's still way cooler. Oh my god, comics for life. I do all the time, but then when it comes to my comic book, I'm like, gonna have to like my inks too. I'm gonna have to go in and actually ink it. So yeah, there's actually a lot of stuff I have that I don't ink because I prefer the pencils. But when it comes to this, it's kind of hard to keep it this way. But you know what? Thank you for reminding me. I should start scanning all my pencils right now so that I could put in the ash can and just have extra stuff before I ink. Sometimes I forget and I start inking and I erase the pencils and it's gone forever. So yeah, you're right. Like Vegas, remember the iPod and all those things and the iPhone? I mean, and I'm sure that some of you have probably like stopped using your phone as much as you did when you first initially got it because it was such a cool thing. And you know, I've gotten really good at just like keeping my phone away from my desk as often as possible because I'm focused on my work and I'm listening to music and stuff, so I don't really need my phone. But you know, when I first got it, we had like Sonic the Hedgehog and all these cool little games like Resident Evil 4 on the iPhone. I thought it was the coolest thing to have like these console games on this tiny little device, but that was forever ago. And Angry Birds and all that, I think it's kind of lost its luster, and now it's becoming more like a mainstay. And you know, you kind of remember, oh yeah, I'm gonna go touch some grass, which I love touching grass. That's what I do for fun. I'm just joking. I go outdoors. I mean, I guess it's the same thing as touching grass. You know, and that's I'm glad that you guys mentioned. So Wowie says I like reading comic books from a human, and I like printed material too. So there is a digital tier on the Kickstarter just in case someone couldn't get the book, like whether they're in a location and they just can't get it. Even though we're supposed to be shipping it internationally, I'm just making sure the shipping costs are like not insane for you guys. So I'm trying to figure all those things out. Specifically, we have some of the info on there, but there's some countries I haven't been able to figure out like what the shipping costs would be because I don't know where everybody's at. But so are you guys good? Do you guys read digital books, or are you more like traditional, you know, hard copy books, floppies? Or graphic novels? Like, what's your preference for books nowadays? Physical, still valuable to me. Oh, yes. Mostly print. Okay, digital is great when having a ton of books you can travel with, but there's nothing like holding a book. Awesome. Good to know. After books 100% audible, but manga style physical. Ah, cool. So different depending on the type of book. Hard copy. Okay. I still love collecting physical media. Digital because my bookshelves are full. See, that's the one thing that when we talk about digital versus physical, people forget that sometimes we have so many books you have to start reading digital or converting to digital and then getting rid of some of the physical copies. So I could understand like storage being a problem with like books. So you know what, I am going to keep that digital copy tier where it's at right now, towards the beginning. And anybody who backs the physical book is also going to get the downloadable content that comes along with the books, the deluxe version. So thank you so much, Jake. Yeah, I'm sure I'm saying your name wrong. I'm sorry. I read manga online, but it's not the same. Yeah, I know. I love manga. I like how the paper feels when you flip through it, and the cover. It's so nice, and the size is perfect. So I was thinking, like, I know it'd be kind of weird because it's a Western book. I'm reading left to right, or it's being read left to right. But once I get enough pages, like issues, I want to print it as a manga, like smaller manga form. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do that logistically, but I want to really get my own like manga that's got like 120 pages or something. Are good when you kind of want the same sample book, but for physical use it is my preference. Okay, cool. And story is good. Also real books age and get sun damaged. Oh yeah, I know. Okay, cool. So we have varying reasons why people physical books are why people do digital and physical. So because the perception was always like people were just going to stop collecting books, or digital was never going to get anywhere. I think it's just like a utility at this point, just because of space, and like some of you were saying, like if you really love a book, you want a physical copy of it. I'm the same way. I have a hard time reading digital books because I don't like staring at screens. That's kind of why I also like drawing traditionally. I don't like staring at my Cintiq screen for a long period of time because my eyes and stuff. So okay, we're getting somewhere. Like I might even be able to ink this pretty soon. My camera's turning off again. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, I need to, you know, I need to like start downloading some digital books to see how I like reading them on the iPad. The only thing I don't like about the iPad, and I know you have to get like a different screen, is the light. If you're reading it outside or at an angle, it's so much glare, you know. So I think I would have to get like a different thing just for reading books. Jack is yes. Yeah, that's the problem with inking when you're ready to ink and it's rough like this too. I make mistakes and I'm like having to pull out my Posca white Posca marker just to fix my you know, lack of being careful sometimes. And it bothers me when it looks like that because I try to be like really strategic with my inking, and I don't like looking at patchwork of mistakes that I make. And I don't mind it if it's on some area that is not on the face, but sometimes when I mess up, it's on the face. So it's like not pretty to look at. Okay, and do I have a real surfboards in here? Are you leaving us, David? Or are you saying hi? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I missed a bunch of stuff you guys are saying. I'm gonna scroll up a little bit. Didn't really have a question in that. I don't get reading. First time and worst time. But I find that sometimes try to pinch to zoom physical books though. I know sketch art by Mark. I do that with my art when I'm drawing. I try to erase with my Cintiq pen or vice versa. It's pretty bad. Well, I mean, but nothing's worse than drinking ink thinking that it's your coffee. I mean, that's some serious like oops. I did it. I did that with watercolor water one time, and it was thank God it wasn't ink. Michael White, I love that dad joke. That's funny. If you're constantly using your phone, does that mean you're engaged? Yeah, I guess so, huh? Well, I am new in collecting physical comics. This comic would be one of the first comics I would collect alongside Rockefellers. Oh, that is so cool. I like hearing that when, we are the gateway drug. to you know, Francis and I to physical comic books. That's awesome. I'm gonna have to tell him that. Which pencil type do you use? H2. I like HB, but lately I've been really happy with these Blackwing. It's like a, it feels like a, what do you call these? Like a 1 or 2B. It's really soft lead and really dark. It's like Murphy's face. Okay. Question for Cia in the chat. Do you have a TV in your room? People tend to look at me weird when I tell them I don't have one in my room. My room is for reading and sleeping only. I don't have a TV in my room. But you know what I do have, which is just as bad, is my laptop. And I watch shows on it when I go to bed sometimes. But what's worse is I don't actually pick a show out sometimes. I'm just scrolling to find something to watch. And sometimes I'll get so sleepy, I just put my laptop down. And like last night, and I was so disappointed in myself. Like, come on, just find something. There's things I want to watch, and I'm like, I don't know. Kind of indecisive. Hi, Vince. Oh, thank God you showed up. You showed up knowing that it's going to be 4 o'clock soon. Hey, better late than never. Vince, I just showed everybody the Echoes Volume 2 cover at the beginning of the this live stream because someone asked how I colored, or if I colored with markers. And so I showed off the cover, and that was a lot of fun to draw the vegetation and stuff. This is the Pearl, yes. Audio Cafe is asking. I like to hold a book in my hands. I don't like digital. Yeah, I know. I don't either, but then like JD was saying, once you have too many books, you have to end up condensing it somehow. So, I mean, just ask me. My dad has half of my comic books. Then I have a few more. Actually, no, I think he has more than half. I think my dad's house has like 75% of my books and comic books. And then I have a little bit in storage. And then I have some here. So. Oh, thanks so much, Vince. Yeah, you guys told me you wanted it to pop like the most colorful, pretty Cia cover that you could do. And so, yeah, there's a lot of vegetation in that one. Oh, what do you call that ruler with a roller? Let me get the actual word for you. I think it's called a rolling ruler. I don't know. I'm pretty sure if you went to Amazon and looked it up, that will give you the correct word. It's no, doesn't have a name on it. It's cool though, right? Look, it's like, oh, it glides. But I recommend not using this to draw borders, because if you do, like me, sometimes it's not straight. And I was working at DC on a book, and they're like, why aren't your borders, is that meant to be cricket? I was like, no, I just used the wrong ruler. And I can't find my T-square. Oh, here it is. So this is what I would recommend using, is the T ruler, T-square. See? Otherwise, your lines are going to be like wonky. Echo, the stream is probably going to end in 25-ish minutes. So about 4 o'clock my time. So yeah, in about 25 minutes or so. Yeah, are you talking about this one right here? Yeah, this. And you know what's awesome about this is it's really cheap. So this thing is awesome. And I go through these so quickly. I caught a bad time. Hello, Echo. I don't think it's bad. I think you did good. Any suggestions for drawing a sprawling city shot? Michael, yes, I would, and I'm speaking from experience because I did not do this at first. I thought I was cool and I was just gonna do all the lines myself and like my vantage point. But if you're just starting out, like I would either search for aerial shots of actual cityscapes and then kind of see where their vanishing point is and the density between the cities. I mean, like what's in the foreground and what's in the background. That way you don't get overwhelmed, you know, drawing all the little tiny buildings and stuff. Do I have mine here? Let me go grab my city. I have this right here. Okay, this. So I like saved a bunch of reference images of cities, angles that I liked and stuff, like Hong Kong and Tokyo. I think were the main ones I used, in Dubai, and I kind of found the lines or the vantage point that I liked, and so this was a thumbnail, and then I, like blew it up on my printer, and then printed it out large enough so that I basically light boxed the basic design, and then I started rendering this right here. So I wanted it to be like Akira and Ghost in the Shell, the density and just over the top in a way, so that my buildings actually look interesting. So glitter inductive. I struggle with big, beefy steel T-squares. Yeah, Rob, that's why I use these little thin ones, and it's transparent, so I could see underneath it. So this, for $2 or I think $5, I'm not sure now. This was worth the investment because it's lightweight, and when I travel, this thing is so much easier to just stick in my comic bag, and then I bring this with me, and then I bring my circle templates and stuff. So Wowie, that city. So I'm trying to remember how many days it took me. I think it took me 2 solid days, one of penciling and one of inking, to do that page, and I had to do it really fast because I needed to put it on the Kickstarter page and stuff. So I was hauling ass on that page. How many pages do you pencil a day? Depending on the type of page, like the one you just saw, that one I think it took a day and a half to pencil, and then ink was like another day. But on average, I do like a page a day or so. But if it's like just talking head pages, then it's like 2 pages a day. I know, these things are awesome, right? This is like the star. I would not survive drawing comic books without this ruler. This and the templates, the circle templates. So I used to use a T-square and triangles for my junior high drafting class from home economics. Sadly, I lost them. Aw. Well, you know what's nice about these is they're so cheap. So that's why I like these. I bought a metal one, and I didn't like that one, and it was so clunky, and comic book pages aren't that big, so like one that's only, I think this is 12 inches, isn't that bad. Signed ash cans. Michael, yes, heck yeah, I'm gonna sign it. You guys might get tired of getting all my signed stuff. If you buy a bunch of different things, everything is gonna be signed unless you say otherwise not to. So I'm gonna have a section that says signed or unsigned. That way I don't sign everything, and you guys would have so much stuff, or so many signatures. Let's see. Hi, here in Chicago. Hey, Random Sketching. Nice to see you again. Let's see. It still needs a blimp in the page. It still needs a blimp in the page. Oh, Richard. So the blimp was actually done post. I don't know if I want to put it on the actual page yet. I have to go back and look and see if the blimp would be something I could put on the drawn page, because I already colored it. So if I went back and did it, then I'd have to put it again in Photoshop. So I might add the blimp or extra graphics and fix a few things before I get it printed in post. So let's see. I think I got everybody so far. Oh, awesome, Cleaver. Yes, I'll sign everything. I'll even sign the box that it comes in. Okay, I think we're almost kind of where I want to get to a stopping point with this page. Because I have to, usually when I draw, I like to walk away from it and come back to see if there's anything crazy going on before I have to like finish up the lines before I start inking. So So Echo, I I'm thinking this is going to be a cover because of the part of the story. At first I was like, it could be an interior page, but this is the one time I really get to draw them together. And so the more I do it, the more I could like kind of figure out what to use it for. And since I already spent all this time, I'm like, well, it should probably be a cover. Just not sure what yet, because I have some covers already for the Kickstarter. I might just switch one of them out because I have so much art that I could just kind of pick from, you know, some of the stuff that I've already drawn. Oh, random sketches. That's a good question. So there is noir and also like some dark comedy, and um there's a lot of adventure and action, but I definitely the elements of there's a lot of darkness in it too. But the characters are kind of silly and funny, so I make it so that there's levity in the book because I have like a certain sense of humor, and I'm like, well, I don't want this book to be a drab for myself to draw, so I'd like to add some comedy, a lot of comedy elements into the book. So it's gonna have noir and action, obviously, with the what they do for a living, and you know, I came up with all these cool ideas. Like, if you were here earlier, I was talking about like one scene. I'm gonna keep the scene in, and I'm sorry if it's a little crass, but it's like you know, maybe the main character, he's just came out of prison, and he just drank at the bar with his brother, and he can't hold his alcohol, and then he tries to land on the hoverboard or get on it, and then he basically slips and he throws up basically. And since they're high up in the sky, you know, let's just say they're at least 300 feet in the air, he's he pukes, and there's flying cars, there's cars on the road, there's people walking. Someone probably ends up with that on them or their car or something. But I just think it'd be funny, like, just to play off of things like that. So that scene is going to stay. I'm just now see things like this when I talk to you guys, I get all excited, like, ooh, I got to put that in my book. And then my book starts to like take on this weird shape where I have all this content and I have to put it in the book somehow. And then instead of you guys getting a 40 to 44 page book, it's like 60 pages of random stuff that you and I, or we're all talking about because we thought it would be so funny to put a weird tattoo on some dude's arm who's supposed to be this badass character, and he's got a happy smiling face with fangs from the first two or three episodes. So every time we talk, I'm like always getting these ideas. I get excited, and that's why I draw it, because if I wasn't excited, I'd be a little worried, you know. So that's why I'm like, yeah, let's just you know what, I don't care if it's a little strange. I'm just going to put my personality into it, and apparently your guys' sense of humor, and we're going to have ourselves a wonderland of sorts, right? Like the name of the book. So puking scene is going to stay. We have to make light of the fact that AI rules our world here, so. Oh, okay. So Artist Owens, this one I actually printed myself, but usually when I get Eon boards from the company, they already have it pre-printed with like the blue line. So this one I printed myself because I wanted it to look kind of cool. So it was like Neo Wonderland. And it took a while for me to get the right template perfectly because the borders would be all funky. So. So you guys like the puke scene? Cool, we're keeping it. I'm sure I'll come up with something sillier. Some other thing will happen. And we're gonna keep the tradition of Pocky not getting his food. So maybe he's on a hoverboard with Aya or her motorcycle, and he's about to eat his food, which you should never do if you're on a hoverboard, and it just flies out of his paws, and yeah, he has no hoverboard. I mean, no food. Hello, Luciano. Very nice to meet you. Poor kitty. I know, I'm torturing my kitty cat. But to be fair, if you guys had the comic strip from the my mailing list, he ate a lot of nuggets. He had no problem eating those nuggets. He was starting to be a big cat. So, keeping the puke scene. Now the goal is to figure out who does the puking and then who ends up getting puked on. Man, I can't believe we're talking about this right now. You're making me want to draw my comic book even more. Just adding random pages. Maybe it'll be like director's cut or live chat cut, where this is all the random stuff we talk about, and I just have this time, and I'm just gonna draw random scenes in the book. It'd be like having my own choose your own adventure book, kind of like side quests. That's not part of the main story. 90 pages of personality. Oh my gosh. Too much personality. Is like, where is this story going? It's like, wherever I want it to go. Wherever we want the story to go, we're going to go there. It's like playing an open world game. You take on some random quest, and before you know it, Ohayou gozaimasu, Yumi. Hi from Japan. Like Avatar: The Last Airbender. Is that what happens? I haven't really seen that. I've seen like 1 or 2 episodes. Guy that the story keeps picking on. You should have a My Cabbages guy that the story keeps picking on. Yeah, I do. I think it's the cat. You have a live stream the day of the release. Am I going to have a live stream? Heck yeah, you guys. You're going to watch me react however I'm going to react on the live stream. I'm probably going to do one next Saturday. It's going to be considered the pre-launch. So then we'll have all the stuff ironed out, like the tiers and everything. I want you guys to know exactly what's going to be on there, and then we'll have a live stream during the release. You guys are going to watch me hit the go live button on here, I think, because I don't know if I could do it by myself. I'd probably have a panic attack. So they're on Black Phone 2. They said it's too derivative of Nightmare on Elm Street. Huh. That's interesting. Is Black Phone 2, was that like a supernatural story? I always thought it was grounded. I didn't know it was. I've never seen it, but it sounds really cool. If Pocky ever had an arch enemy, could it be Morris, the short, tall alley cat with an attitude? He was my childhood cat. I have so many cats in this story. That's not a bad idea. There should be like, if I don't start adding a bunch of stuff to do on the tiers, there should be a tier where it's like draw my pet cat or dog into the story, where you guys all have like your own digital version of your cats in the comic book or dogs somewhere. That'd be kind of fun. No one else does that, right? Like I would be the first. So that's a good idea. Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Oda. And the Freddy Krueger himself, Robert Englund, is getting his Walk of Fame. Oh, cool. Didn't he pass away a few years ago, Echo? He was an amazing actor. Oh, by the way, Freddy Krueger, the scariest movie when I was a kid. I could not handle it. In fact, when I watched it as an adult, I was like, this is so freaky. This is not fair to do that to a person in a movie. It was so scary. And the idea that he gets into your head and he's in your dreams and you can't get rid of him, it's scary. And I think it was my early 20s. I had a dream, or was it like my late teens, where we gathered a bunch of people to try to go fight Freddy Krueger, and it was in my dream. So I was scared. It's like, oh my gosh, what if this is real and I can't leave my dream and Freddy Krueger's in my dream? But I defeated him. But I didn't cheat, because there's times when how you're like dreaming and you're kind of half awake, so you try to force your dream to be like, yes, I got that, whatever, accomplished. And so luckily I was fully asleep, because imagine if like Freddy Krueger was in my dream and I half woke up and I'm trying to change things, then I'd be like, oh my gosh, am I in a nightmare? I mean, it's so freaky. It's like such a great concept for a horror film. So That and well, I'm not going to name one of the horror movies that I will never, ever, ever watch again because it scares me so much. And people who know that it scares me, they will send me memes of it and stuff, and it would just piss me off and freak me out so much. So, hello. Is it just the network, or is it actually you back there, Tim? Uncensored Nerds Network Shorts. Hello. Thank you for stopping by. Can I tell him? Tim? Just say yes or no. Can I let him know, Tim? We watch it, refresh button until you hit 1 million pledges. I wish, that would be so cool. Okay, so Tim from Uncensored Nerds Network, we filmed our podcast episode yesterday, and I was on his awesome podcast, and I was telling them earlier, I was telling him that I was on the podcast and you asked all these awesome questions, and I rarely get certain questions asked, and I had a lot of fun talking about this stuff. Like, I geeked out over it. Like, as you can see, I was like getting all excited talking about certain things, certain artists, and just comic books and stuff. So that's supposed to air next week sometime, I think. So I'll let you guys know as soon as it airs on Spotify. So basically Tim and I, we were geeking over Francis and Sean. And I think we're talking about Matteo, and who else was it? We were talking about and a bunch of amazing artists, and Michael Turner. Oh, we were geeking out over Michael Turner like crazy. Awesome, yeah, Cleaver. I think you're gonna get a lot out of it because Tim is really good at asking awesome questions, and he's a fan of all sorts of stuff too. So he knows what he's talking about. Thursday next week it goes live. Awesome. So Thursday next week, you guys, we're gonna hear me yapping again, but more thoughtful. I think I was more thoughtful because I had time to think about responding to your questions, and then you were physically talking to me, so I could bounce back and forth and stuff. So you could have two characters talking to each other, one saying to the other, "Do you think it's going to rain?" Then you're so good, Michael. That's the other idea. You gave me another idea the other day, and I was like, that's a great idea. I forgot which idea it was, but I took your idea, and now you're giving me another one. I should... Oh, you guys are so awesome. There's going to be a thank you page at the end of the Kickstarter, so it's going to have all your names, and you know what? If there's room on it, which I'm sure there should be some room, I could write little notes for you guys since I know all of you. Just make sure you give me your screen name too if you back the book, so that I could put your name in the book with your YouTube screen name, and then I could write little notes in the back for you guys. Okay? Let's do that. So, because I owe you guys a lot of a debt of gratitude for all your ideas that you're just handing to me. Or study as you are now a professional. Oh, random sketching. I still like follow. If you go to my Instagram and you look at all the artists I follow, which is most of them, I still follow a ton of artists that I love, and I'm always like geeking out over their stuff. Like Sean Murphy's one of them, Francis, Kenneth Rocafort, Joe Benitez, Mark Silvestri. I mean, I'm sure, and Eric Canetti, my friend. Matteo is one of my favorites as well. So yeah, I follow a ton of artists still. And, you know, it kind of gets you motivated, too, when you see their art. You're like, oh, I want to draw like that, like, really, really well. So, I've already seen the teaser for Rob Kirkman and David Finch's Skinbreaker, and I didn't realize they already published it, the first issue last month. It looks really like a monster comic. It looks amazing. I mean, no surprise, right? Thank you so much, Sketch Art by Mark. Thank you so much. You guys are keeping me on my toes, and talking to you every week. I'm like, okay, you gotta do this, homegirl. Don't back out now. Don't back down, or don't back out now. Because there's times when I'm like, should I do it? I'm scared. What if nobody likes it? What if my story is too random and weird, and you know, stuff like that? Yes, Morris Joe Benitez, my heart. Yes, he was the one person I was like, I have to work with him. Not only because he's Joe Benitez, but Lady Mechanica is such a brilliant idea, and the fact that he gave me that platform for, is it 6 issues? I mean, You can't beat that, especially because the guys at Top Cow were some of my biggest idols when I was trying to break in. So, and I was telling Tim, maybe I should save some of this stuff for the podcast so you guys can see what I said about like my origin story and stuff. Did you like Sid Mead's art? He is the concept artist for Blade Runner. Oh yeah, I did. I loved his art. And I was really sad when he passed away and I heard about it and I was like bummed because I wanted to meet him, but yeah. And I don't think I ever bought his book, but I really wanted Sid Mead's book. One of my, acquaintances, Feng Zhu, he was a huge Sid Mead, obviously, fan, and it was one of his biggest influences, and he was telling me about some of those influences, and he had his own YouTube channel. I'm sure you guys know who he is. So, hello, Michael. Very nice for you to hang out with us. Yes, the darkness is coming back. Isn't that awesome? And Mark is drawing it, right? Is Mark Silvestri drawing it right now? Healthy and creating Michael. Yes, most of us are, except I did not finish my ramen, and now it's all soggy, and I'm like, I don't know if I feel healthy right now. I feel like I'm starving. I need to go eat. Oh, Mark is writing. Awesome. Well, that's even cooler. He has the darkness personality in terms of like how he not only draws it, but the style of, I think Mark's style, you can't separate the two, except when did Kenneth Rocafort ever draw the darkness? I thought he did. Ed Benes will be. Oh yeah, that's right. Ed is drawing it. I did see pictures. Okay, that's amazing. That's gonna be such an epic book. I'm so glad that they're doing so much with all those characters right now. Those were my favorite characters growing up. I had those. Remember the ones in the Wizards of the Coast? I'm sorry, not the Wizard magazine. They had all of those like Top Cow posters and stuff, like Witchblade, and that was my jam. Like I would buy those, and just my wall would be plastered with all those posters and stuff, and it would be inspiring to me. So, and I remembered Mark Silvestri's Witchblade, where it's like half her face, I think, in the background, and she's in the front. That was the one poster I put on my door. So every time I open my door, I always see Sarah. Todd Noah, Frank Cho, Inky, Center Hope, just. Yeah, I think I'm one of those people who I like to talk a lot, and my schedule is like interesting that I could do this kind of stuff, but I know Francis is so busy he could barely get on the phone and talk about work, let alone like streaming. But I'm sure at some point when he's kind of settled in a little bit more, he'll probably consider it. But the thing with Francis and I, like we have an obsession, and Tim was talking about this yesterday during the podcast. Like we have this serious obsession with camera gear and cinematography that we're like, oh, my videos, you gotta look just the best, So I kind of broke that. I was like, this is easier for me, but you kind of saw the trailer at the beginning. I do have some footage that I filmed for Neo Wonderland that I'm going to try to edit at some point and put it out there. In fact, depending on how long it is, I might add that to the digital version of the comic book, so you guys get like a behind the scenes making of Neo Wonderland, edited video. Okay, I think I'm close enough now to where I want to be, and so I think I'm gonna call this page done for now. I'm gonna step back and then have a look at it in a few hours and see how I feel about it. But honestly speaking, I'm probably gonna make a bunch of different graphics for the Kickstarter now because there's so much to do still. So, yeah. Throws down the glove. I used to say drops pencil every time I finish something, like drops pencil on my Facebook page and stuff. So, okay. It was so nice hanging out with you guys, and honestly, you make me feel less scared to do this Kickstarter thing, and I feel like you guys have my back in terms of just talking me through my own doom and gloom, I guess, and giving me these awesome ideas. And so you're making it where it's like, you know what, I just want to draw this really cool looking book and just have fun with you guys. It's because this book is supposed to be fun. It's Neo Wonderland. So to be able to hang out with you guys and do this, and we're probably going to just keep doing this every time I'm available on Saturday. I'm just going to sit here and we're just going to talk, and you guys are going to hold me accountable. It's much easier to like have you go, hey, what's up with the book? Where are you at? What page are you drawing? And I'm here for like 2.5 hours. I would be able to, knock out so much just sitting here and talking and yapping, because that's what because I talk a lot. So I guess we're gonna definitely do another stream on Friday. We might do Saturday. I might do another one sooner if for some reason I'm bad with dates and times. If there's something I need to do before that, I'll probably do another stream earlier, but we'll see. And please, if you'd like, please go check out the link I have pinned up at the top to the Kickstarter pre-launch page, and please hit the notify on launch if you haven't already and you just joined recently on the stream. Then it will notify you on the launch date, and if you already have the mailing list, I'm gonna email some stuff, but I would like to show everybody like what tiers are available, what kind of like goodies and add-ons we have. So please check that link out, and we will see each other sometime next week. So, thank you so much, Tim. You're helping me out a lot, and Tim actually got the press packet that had some of the stuff in there, so he's gotten to see some of the extra stuff I have. So thank you so much for joining me, you guys, and enjoy your Saturday. Go eat some really good food, because you guys were talking about tacos and stuff earlier, and oh my god, I'm so hungry. I'm gonna go have like a ton of food just for you. We're gonna have like Korean barbecue or something, you guys. So thank you, and I apologize for anybody that just recently stopped in, and where our stream is ending now, but I will definitely see you guys next week if you want to stop by again. So you have a great weekend. God bless you. Thank you, Sketch Art. I'm gonna start calling all your names out again, so let's go. Calvin, JD, Bind, Cleaver, Tim, Ray, Sketch Art by Mark. I'm trying to find some silly ones where I can't say it. It's like a tongue twister. John Brown and John Brown and John. Arthur. We have Michael, Trevor, Echo, Cleaver, Tunes, Michael, another Michael, Random Sketching. It's funny, every time I scroll it goes back up. 6 Illustrate. Awesome. Doodly Don, I Morris, Michael White, Richard, of course, Draw Tinsel, Bind, Mr. Oda, and Yumi. And if I miss you guys, I apologize. I will definitely see you around soon. So I will talk to you very soon. Bye.